Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Cozy Beckett Drummer. I do apologize I haven't been posting new videos. I've, been going through some personal problems and trying to find a new job. The past 2 months have been a little rocky, but I'm doing better. Things are getting better. I've got some time to sit down and do a small ranking for you guys. Although I am in the middle of putting in AC/DC ranking albums, uh, trying to get all the AC/DC albums together. I do not have all of their CDs yet, but I'm going to make it work for you guys. I know one of you was asking for that, so it will be coming out soon. But I've also got the Metallica albums. I'm going to put them together, and hopefully soon the Metallica album rankings will be out for you guys. But today we're going to focus on the Cozy Powell solo studio albums, which of course y'all should know now. In the previous videos I've mentioned it, that Cozy Powell is my favorite drummer, along with Ian Pace, John Bonham, Simon Phillips, Bill Ward. They're all fantastic drummers in their own way. They have their own unique style, but Cozy Powell was the one that caught to my attention when I first listened to Rainbow Rising. Like, that changed my musical path. Like, it got me more into the Cozy Powell discography. It got me to playing more drums and got more serious with it. And, I admire Cozy's work. He's released so many albums and collaborated with so many people throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s, with Jeff Beck, with Rainbow, with Michael Schenker, with Whitesnake, with Brian May, with Black Sabbath. Like, the list goes on and on and on. He's released at least 70 albums in his career. But we're going to focus on the 5 solo studio albums that Cozy Powell has released. And we're going to go from worst on down to the best. So, the first one we're going to pull out, which is my least favorite, is his last solo album, released only in Japan, and it's Especially for You. You can see the song list. There's some songs on here that I do like. I do listen to this every once in a while. I just thought it was a different genre that was a little off for Cozy. Like, you would expect him to play heavy metal or rock or jazz, fusion, blues. Like, he was that kind of drummer. And this was more into the pop section. And of course, the singer on this album is John West, which he does have a pop-related vocals. Songs on here like Ivory Towers is good. Doing the Natural Thing, that's like a blues rock song. Call Me Mayhem is another good one. Make You a Man. I mean, there's several songs on here that I listen to every once in a while. I'll spin this CD and I enjoy it, but it was just a different genre change, and I just didn't know where to rank this album, so I kind of put it down on the very bottom. But you do got Neil Murray on bass on here, who has been with Cozy throughout Sabbath, with Brian May, with Whitesnake. Like, him and Neil have been the best collaborators. They've joined through many groups and have done so much stuff together in music. But that's Especially for You. Least favorite. Next, we've got Octopus, which this album, a lot of people will rank it to the top. I love this album. I love all of Cozy's albums. Nothing wrong with any of them. I just have a different way of ranking them in terms of how much I listened to it and what caught my interest. And this was not really interesting for me. I didn't really listen to this one as much. I have heard the entire album several times, but it's just not as interesting to me as the rest of them. Um, you've got songs on here like Formula One, that's a good one. Dartmoor with Gary Moore on guitar, that's another good song. The Rattler, which was co-written by David Coverdale of Whitesnake. At the time of this release, Cozy was in Whitesnake, which this features all of, the Whitesnake members, like John Lord, Mickey Moody, Neil Murray, Gary Moore, David Coverdale, a lot of the Whitesnake members that have been a part of Whitesnake were featured on this album. And I know Colin Hodgson, who was with Cozy and Whitesnake, recorded on this album with him too. It's a great album. Just didn't really catch my interest. It wasn't really that interesting to me. I just don't rank it as high. But that's Octopus for you. Number 3 is his 4th solo album, The Drums Are Back, which features a lot of great musicians on here, and has some great songs on here. This is what you would expect to hear from Cozy, especially in the 90s and the late 80s, when you've heard him from Whitesnake to ELP to Black Sabbath, and he spent the late 80s, early 90s doing the Force Field albums with Tony Martin and Graham Bonnet and Ray Fenwick. You hear that heavy drum techniques in those albums, and what you hear on this is amazing. Like the self-titled song, The Drums Are Back, and Battle Hymn is another good one. Classical Gas, Somewhere in Time, Ride to Win, which Ride to Win and Somewhere in Time ended up being Nothing But Blue, and Resurrection on Brian May's solo album, Back to the Light. This album does feature Brian May. It's got John Deacon on here on one song, John Lord, Neil Murray, Jamie Page, Jeff Nichols, who of course was keyboard players for Sabbath, helped out on this album. John Sinclair, Don Airy, Billy Sheehan, which is another fantastic bass player. Ray Fenwick is on here. Lawrence Cottle, who did the Headless Cross album with Sabbath and Cozy, and Tony Iommi. John Lord, Steve Macon, Steve Lukather. A lot of fantastic musicians on this album, and it's a very well produced album, although it wasn't that popular. A lot of people didn't really see this album much. But here's The Drums Are Back. Next, we've got Over the Top, which is a fantastic album. Awesome album. A very well produced album. A very well written album. It's just got a lot of collaboration with genres and people. Like, this is an album Cozy wanted to release to show everybody what he can do, what genres he plays, what he does when he's on stage, which I know the song Over the Top features the 1812 Overture, which was the little backing track piece that he put in his drum solos on stage, which he started that with Rainbow. And he's also got some like blues on here. He's got some jazz fusion on here. He's got some rock. He's got some metal stuff on here. He's got a lot of the double bass features. He's just trying to show everybody what he can do in studio. And this is his first solo album, which features Jack Bruce from Cream. If you know that old group with Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce was the bass player and the singer in that group, and of course collaborated with Cozy. Most of the album was features Don Airy on keyboards, a fantastic keyboard player. You got Gary Moore on guitar, Bernie Marsden, Max Middleton on keyboards, Dave Clemson on guitar. Songs like Theme 1, Killer, Sweet Poison, The Loner, Over the Top. I mean, the entire album is fantastic. It's over the top for sure. I know a lot of you know what this album is, if you're a fan of Cozy. But my favorite Cozy Powell album, and we are down to the last one. My favorite is Tilt. His second solo album. A fantastic album, a mind-blowing album. Just the production, the mix. It was produced by Cozy Powell. The songs on here, fantastic. You hear it. You hear everybody on the album. You hear what Cozy is doing, what he's trying to put out on this album, and most of it is instrumental. Kind of like Over the Top. The entire Over the Top album is instrumental. You've got a couple songs on here that feature some singers. Like Elmer Gantry, he does the songs like The Right Side, Jekyll and Hyde, Sooner or Later. But there's a song on here, Living a Lie, which was a song Cozy wrote when he was with Hammer. And it does feature all of the Cozy Powell's Hammer members, like Neil Murray on bass, who replaced Clive Chairman on bass. You got Frank Alo on vocals, Don Airy on piano and keyboards, Bernie Marsden on guitar. That's a fantastic song, and the re-release on this album is, I would say, is much better than the original recording from 1974. But you've got songs on here, Cat Moves and Hot Rock, which both feature Jeff Beck on guitar. You've got people like Chris Glenn, who also recorded with Cozy in the Michael Schenker group. You've got people, Don Airy, Jack Bruce, Gary Moore, Bernie Marsden. I mean, most of the same people that featured in Over the Top are on this album too. And just the production, the mix, the final mix, and just everything about this album, because I'm huge into jazz, and what he tried to do with the jazz fusion and the heavy metal and the rock, he kind of put it all together, and that's what made Tilt. I can't, it's speechless for me, because every time I hear this album, it blows me away. I love this album. But that's all of the Cozy Powell solo album ranking. Like I said, it was a short ranking, but something to at least put out there to you guys to let you know I'm still doing the album rankings. But also, if you've got song requests for me to do behind the kit, please comment below what you want to hear, and I got you. I do any kind of genre. I go from rock to blues to jazz to pop to heavy metal. I do everything. But comment below what you want next. If you want another album ranking, comment below what you want. Like I said, 2 are on the way, which is the AC/DC albums and Metallica albums. And anything else you want me to do, rank, play, anything you want to ask, comment below, like the video, subscribe. And now we will go down from the top down to the bottom, and we will finish off the album, or finish off the video. I don't know, I'm not awake. I'm sorry. This has been the 10th take video in this, and I slur on my words. I apologize. But here we go. Tilt. over the top. The drums are back. Octopus. And especially for you. Hope you guys have a great day. And please like, comment, subscribe. And there'll be more in the future coming soon. Stay tuned. Rock on, everybody.